Step into a world where there's no one.
So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
Welcome back to the I Grind movement, where we enjoy the hustle, we enjoy the journey, and we grind hard, all right? So in order to get down with this movement, there's some things that you gotta realize. Step one, stop waiting for other people to validate you. Step two, believe in yourself. Step three, only concentrate on your goals. Now, the one I want to concentrate on right now, the one that I seem to have the most conversation about, is the validation part, the self-validation or the validation part. A lot of times we find ourselves, and it's a systemic problem with society, is that we believe that in order to belong to a group, or that there's a wanting and a longing to belong to a group. And once you get to that group, you want to stay in that group, whether it be your social, your economic, your team, whatever it is, your work group, whatever it is, you look for a certain type of acceptance or validation. The problem in that is that we take away from our own identity when we start belonging to a group. And once you start belonging to a group that has its own social norms and its own means to do certain things, you start taking away from yourself, and again, y'all can look it up, man. You start losing yourself. You start losing your self-identity when you join a group or when you're part of groups because of the social norms. And then we find ourselves stuck. It's okay to be in a group that's pushing you forward to do something, but a lot of times we find ourselves stuck in a group because we're comfortable. We don't want to leave outside of that group. We find our comfort zone, so we stay inside of that group. Because we stay inside of that group, we can't grow. We can't grow mentally, we can't grow physically, we can't grow spiritually. In order for you to do any type of growth, you have to step outside of your means. You have to step outside of your comfort zone. If you're an athlete, you understand what I'm talking about. If you are comfortable doing that same drill over and over again, you have to start adding more complexity to your drills. You have to start adding a little hardship. You have to start doing something a little bit extra. You have to start running a little bit harder. You have to make the drill a little bit harder. Don't forget the basics, but you have to do a little bit harder. You have to grind a little bit harder. And when we start talking about validation, when I'm talking about validation and self-validation, set your limits and sit as you are. Don't set your limits. Understand that you are your own limits. Think outside of the box. Don't limit yourself to your failures or your past discretions. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Any mistake you made in the past is now a learning experience. Now you know what not to do. Learn from that, move forward. Don't look towards your friends to tell you it's okay. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of times people put their self-expressions onto you, or their self-doubt, or their own weaknesses onto you. They tell you you can't do it because they couldn't do it. They tell you they can't because they couldn't get promoted. You can't get promoted because they see themselves in you. So now you have to start stepping outside of the box. You have to find a new pool of friends. You have to find a new pool of colleagues, a new pool of people that are pushing themselves, and that you may not be able to keep up at first, but that's part of the challenge. Find yourself in a new clique. If you're in a clique and everybody's the naysayers and they're whining and they're complaining, chances are you're whining and complaining too, or you accept the whining and complaining. Step outside of your norm. Go find another group. Find a blog. Find something that is going to push you along. Chances are, if 10 of your friends don't have the degrees, you don't have a degree. If 10 of your friends are broke, you about to be 11th broke friend, because there's no learning in those groups, or you've now outgrew those groups, and it's okay to outgrow your friends. I can love them to death, but it's time to move on. Don't look for that validation for them to tell you to move on, because your friends want to keep you there. It's not their fault. Learn to move forward. Learn to see yourself for who you are. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. Your way of thinking is outside of the box, and it's okay. Accept you first. Find better people to hang with. If you can't learn from your 5 closest friends, if there's nothing, when you guys get on the phone and there's nothing you talk about that you can learn from, it's time to find 5 new friends, because your 5 friends are a representation of who you are. They represent your personality. And if your 5 best friends or your 5 closest friends can't teach you anything, or you're not learning anything from your 5 best friends or your 5 closest friends, it's time to move on. All right? It's something hard, but you got to change your mindset. And if your friends are really your friends, man, they going to move along with you. I'm going to do another friend video later on, because friends are a powerful thing. They hold you up or they build you up. Either way, friends are powerful. So learn to self-validate. Learn to tell yourself it's okay to be you. Learn to challenge yourself. Learn another language. Learn how to start a business. Learn how to be the best you can be. But don't sit in one spot and the woe is me, all right? There's nothing wrong with you. Love yourself, love who you are, and love what you are here to do. Everybody's here to do that one thing in life. Figure out what your one thing is, cultivate it, and move forward, all right? Listen, this video is a little bit longer than usual, but listen, validate yourself. Self-validation is the key. Love yourself, move forward and move on, man. Let's get this grind on. Again, enjoy my grind. Everyday hustle. We're enjoying the journey. It's not the destination, it's the journey. All right, be easy. Hey, I keep telling y'all, stay tuned, man. We're going to have some great things coming up. Some great things is on the horizon, all right? Be easy.
Why you get so fly? I said from not being afraid to fall out the sky. My physical's a shell, so when I say farewell, my soul will find an even higher plane to dwell. So fly.